Hi, how's it going? Hope you're having a most enjoyable Saturday. This is bang on 10 a.m. Very pleased with my efforts there. My light is gonna clearly be a bit spontaneous today. But yeah, no Ethan. Unfortunately, he's in Maryborough. So you're gonna be joining me for a little bit. I hope that's all right with you. And we have absolutely no questions to answer. So I think today's schedule of affairs is I'm going to get some AI generated questions, which I'm going to answer, and I'm going to go on a few rants because Ethan won't be there to stop me. How good is that? First rant, best available AI. Everyone always goes to ChatGPT because it was like the first one. And if you pay the, I think it's like $50 Australian a month to get access to the best model, it is worth it. It is the best model for a reason. And you do pay $50 for it. But if you're looking for something that's still free and a higher quality than the free version of ChatGPT, you can go to a website called Claude.ai. You log in with your Google, same as ChatGPT, and I find that the results are about, I can't notice the difference between paid ChatGPT and not paid Claude. And when it comes to coding, especially, I find that Claude is really, really a lot better than ChatGPT in most circumstances. So, that being said, we're on Claude.ai, free plan. And how can Claude help us today? Ask me some questions about AI. No, not about AI, about Australia, self improvement Australia. Now, I had a meeting with Ethan last night, and one of the things that came out in the wash is we still don't have any paid members, which is lame and it sucks. But if we don't get a paid customer before this billing cycle renews, which is approximately on 25th of August, then we're going to call it quits. We're just going to go back to doing the podcast, no money out of pocket for the school, and everyone is happy overall. So that being said, this I'm probably going to flip up later into a why you should join Self Improvement Australia. So, with all of that underway, I've got my other project running in the background for testing purposes. We'll come back to that later. But Claude says, I'd be happy to ask you some questions about Self Improvement Australia. To get started, what exactly is Self Improvement Australia? Is it an organisation, a movement, or something else? The answer is it is all of the above. It is an organisation in terms of it's Ethan and I's little fun side business opportunity thing, which is pretty cool. A movement, we've got 4 people currently in the group, but that is the beginnings of a very small movement. And I think it's also a community. And the reason that I distinguish that from movement is a movement describes this massive societal shift, and it has to be like setting in motion a bunch of people. You know, it's literally the word movement. But I think what we have so far, and what will probably build a lot faster than a movement, is just the community of people who are already heading in this direction. And, you know, we don't need to make a societal shift. We just need to connect all of these people who are individually like, yeah, I'm an Australian and I like self improvement. So, what exactly is Self Improvement Australia? I think it's an idea. It's the idea that, well, self improvement is a great idea, which is your life is your responsibility. So, let's improve your life by improving yourself. We like that. But then Self Improvement Australia is the idea that that's not limited to only people who live in America, and that's not limited to only people who live in the United Kingdom. It's the idea that, you know, it's accessible anywhere in the world, but it's also, you know, this patriotic ideal of, hey, Australia is like the best country. We should have a thing that makes the people in this country even better. You know, what are the main focus areas or topics covered by Self Improvement Australia? So if I head over to the school, I'm going to tell you that it's free chat, fitness, finances, fulfillment, and fitness. There we go. So if I had to break it down, I would say it's health, wealth, love, happiness, because those are the four. But then the idea of having a free chat section where people can just, express what's going on in their lives, I think that makes it a more holistic thing. So, the main focus for me as a teacher would probably be fitness because that's what I'm the best equipped to teach. Um, but as far as my interests go, I have a lot of interest in fulfillment. I have a lot of interest in getting some of that cheese, making some of that dough, you know, got to get that loose change, as it were. And, like family life slash relationships slash love, whatever you want to call it. Friends and family, let's go with. That's all really important to me as well. But I don't know. I was about to say I'm not qualified to teach that, but then I thought to myself, well, who is? And I was like, you're darn right. So maybe I am qualified to teach that as well. But focus area for me as a teacher, fitness. Focus area for me as a person, finances. But that's mostly because finances are a means to an end. I don't see the finances as the actual focus. I see the finances as helping me shift my focus away from finances, if that makes any sense at all. As far as Ethan goes, I think his main interest would be fitness, and he's very well equipped to teach about finances in terms of sales and such. But he also does have a very strong friendship and family life, so he's very well equipped to teach about that as well. Question number 3: how long has Self Improvement Australia been active? So the idea of Self Improvement Australia has been around for, I've been familiar with it, like a group, let's say an underbelly of self improvement people. I've been aware of that for maybe 3 years now. I found a Discord server that was also called Self Improvement Australia, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But that dropped off. And so this version of Self Improvement Australia is sort of taking its place. And this version, if I had to guess, I'd say has been active for 3 months, 1/4. But the idea has been around for a while. I think it's just been the actual expressed like organization and need, that's been there for ages. And last question before I might dive into that on a separate live stream. But does Self Improvement Australia offer any specific programs, workshops, or resources? The answer, of course, is yes. So the main programs that we've got going on at the moment, everyone unlocks the 10-day fitness upgrade challenge. And then there's a few other challenges, including but not limited to. I shouldn't have said challenge, I should have said resources. But there's a few other resources, including but not limited to the automated toolkit for social media growth. Basically, I do a lot of coding in my free time. And so if you just upload all of your stuff to a Google Drive folder, you set the link to that folder, and then it will schedule across currently just YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Sorry, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I think Instagram works, but I haven't checked, and possibly Spotify. Very iffy on that one. It'll basically upload 5 short form videos per platform per day. and then it will upload one long form video per platform per day. So, as an example, if you have 100 short form videos that you've created from 10 long form videos, it will upload that in. So, it'll upload the short form videos over the span of 20 days across all of the platforms, and it will upload all of the long form videos over the span of 10 days across all of the platforms. And the only reason that it's that rate is because in using this program, I've found that that's about the maximum that the platforms will actually allow. I am working on getting some like real-time feedback to be able to say, look, it will upload between, say, 1 time and 10 times per day, depending on how the performance of each video goes. But I don't have the skills, resources, time, or attention to pay to that as yet. So right now, it's like you upload, your 110 videos into a Google Drive, and 20 days later, they've all been uploaded, scheduled, and yeah, they've all been scheduled, uploaded. They've all been, descriptions added automatically. The title is whatever the video title was, except minus like your MP3, WAV, whatever. And that gets done across 5 platforms. That's probably the biggest resource that I've had. If we hit 50 members, Ethan has promised that he will release a sales course. If we don't hit 50 members, I'm going to try and convince him to release one anyway, but just do it for free on YouTube to try and build an audience so that when we come back to the school thing, we can just start off with bigger audience. But we'll see how that goes. I know how much of an undertaking it is to create a course. Last year I made 4 courses. Yeah, 4 courses, and they probably took me. Well, they only took like an hour each to record, which is nice. But from the time of me, let's say, having the idea to writing down all of the like segments, to organizing it, to creating, if it was an interview course, the questions, if it was another course, the script, then creating PowerPoint, doing visuals, video editing, da-da-da-da, I'd say it probably gets up into like 60 hours just to create the course. And then you also have to go through the whole process of marketing the course and making sure that people are looking at it, making sure that it's good, making sure that it's not broken, quality assurance, whatever. And Ethan is currently working full time. Respect. So I hope that he finds time to do it, because I would benefit greatly, just purely selfishly. But I don't have an expectation of him to do it, because I know that he's busy and whatever. But Ethan, if you're listening, do it, bro. Other programs, workshops, or resources, I was going to do a personal branding thing, but I felt unqualified, because the fastest that I've ever grown a personal sort of brand was I got, over the course of 3 months, something like 165 YouTube subscribers. And like, it was an info product, it was pretty niche. I can acknowledge that, but like, the average was like, let's call it 55 subscribers per month. And there's plenty of other people who I suppose aren't operating out of their bedroom, which probably does help. But there's plenty of other people who can grow something like that way, 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 way faster. So probably a Facebook ads course I would be more likely to do, since I've already spent $15,000 on ads. But once again, there's other people out there who will spend like, 15 grand, maybe not a day, but like a week on Facebook ads. And those people are in a much stronger position, in terms of authority. It's like, yes, well, I don't know who's watching this, but yes, I've spent $15,000 more on Facebook ads than you have, but there's someone else that spent $15,000 in the last week, not in the last like year and 2 months. So, it's pretty tough to find a course that I feel internally qualified to teach. But as far as workshops go, doing the in-person meetups at some point when we have a large community, invite your friends. That's going to be a super cool thing. Now, those are all of the questions that Claude has. And so I think that is where I'm going to leave you for today. Thank you for joining me. This has been one of the best 15-minute live streams I've done, I've seen, I've witnessed in my whole existence. And I hope that you have a lovely Saturday. Keep working hard, keep growing your fitness, finances, fulfillment, and family/friends. And I will see you this time next week. Ta-ta.